My name is Anna. I am 31 years old. I live in a small town called Fairwood. I have a son. His name is Ben. He is 7 years old. I was married to a man named Eric. We were together for many years. I loved him very much. I trusted him. I thought he was a good husband and a good man. For a long time, our life looked normal. We had a small house, quiet evenings, family dinners, and simple plans for the future. Eric was not perfect, but I believed in him. When Ben was born, I thought our family became even stronger, but one night changed everything. It was a Saturday. I was not feeling well, so I stayed home. Eric told me he was going to a party for his friend Sam. He kissed Ben on the head, took his jacket, and said he would come home late. I did not worry. I told him to enjoy the evening. The next morning, something felt wrong at once. Eric was quiet at breakfast. He did not smile. He did not look at me for long. He answered my questions with short words. I asked if he was tired, and he said yes. But in my heart, I felt something was different. That afternoon, my friend Rosa came to see me. She looked nervous. She sat down and held her hands tightly together. Then she told me something I will never forget. She said she saw Eric at the party. He was not alone. He was with a woman named Sophie, someone he knew years ago. Rosa said they were standing very close. Then she saw them kiss. For a moment, I could not breathe. I felt cold and weak. I wanted to believe she was wrong, but deep inside, I already knew the truth. That evening, I waited for Eric near the door. When he came in, I looked straight at him and asked, "Was Sophie at the party?" He stopped moving. Then I asked, "Did you kiss her?" He stayed silent for too long. That silence told me everything. Finally, he said, "Yes." Then he started talking quickly. He said it was a mistake. He said it meant nothing. He said he was stupid. He said he loved me and Ben, but I was not hearing love. I was hearing betrayal. I told him to leave. He tried to explain more, but I opened the door and said, "Go." Ben was sleeping at my sister's house that night, and I was thankful for that. He did not see me cry. He did not hear our voices. After Eric left, I sat alone in the kitchen for a long time. I could not understand how one moment could break so many years. The next days were hard. Eric called again and again. He sent messages every morning and every night. He said he was sorry. He said he hated himself. He said he wanted one more chance. But I did not answer. Then his father called me. He said marriage is hard. He said people make mistakes. He said I should think about Ben. Other people said the same thing. They told me not to destroy the family over one kiss. But for me, it was not only a kiss. It was trust. It was respect. It was the feeling that my husband belonged beside me, not in another woman's arms. I told everyone the same thing. Ben can still have his father, but I do not want that man as my husband right now. So I stayed alone with my son. It was not easy, but the house became quiet. Pain was still there, but there were no lies inside that quiet. I worked, cooked, helped Ben with school, and tried to keep moving. Some nights I cried after he went to sleep. Some mornings I woke up angry. Other days, I only felt empty. One morning, Eric came to the house with a small bunch of yellow flowers. They were my favorite. He looked tired, older, and sad. He asked if we could talk. I opened the door only a little. He told me the truth more clearly this time. He said he was not confused. He said he was selfish. He said no one forced him. He made the choice himself, and now he was ashamed. I listened, but I did not let him in. I said, "You did not only kiss another woman. You broke something inside this home." He lowered his head, then he left the flowers near the door and walked away. That night, I could not sleep. I remembered many things. I remembered our first date. I remembered the way he made me laugh when I was stressed. I remembered our wedding day, our small apartment, the first toy we bought for Ben, the nights when Eric stayed awake. Because Ben had a fever, that made everything worse. Because Eric was not a monster, he was a man who did something selfish and cruel, and that was harder to understand. Weeks passed. I still did not answer most of his messages, but every weekend he came to see Ben. He never forgot. He was always on time. He brought books, small games, fruit or drawings. Sometimes he brought nothing and just spent time with him. I watched from a distance. Ben was happy to see his father. They played football. They read stories. They laughed together. And each time, my heart felt heavy because I knew Eric was still a good father. But I also told myself again and again, a good father is not always a good husband. One day, after taking Ben to the park, Eric stopped near the gate and said, "I know words are not enough. I will stop speaking big words. I will just show you who I am from now on." And for the first time, I believed that he meant it. He stopped pushing me. He stopped asking every day for forgiveness. He became calmer, steadier, month after month. He simply showed up. He helped Ben with homework. He came to school events. He fixed a broken shelf in Ben's room when I asked. He brought medicine when Ben had a cold. He stayed respectful. He did not try to touch my hand or act like everything was normal. He waited. Slowly, I saw change in him. One afternoon, he came early because Ben was still at school. He asked if he could help me in the yard. I said yes. We worked quietly for some time. Then he said, "Anna, I know I cannot erase what I did, but I am trying to become someone better than that man." I did not answer right away. Then he said, "I do not want your pity. I do not want easy forgiveness. I only want the chance to earn respect again." His voice was calm, not dramatic. That mattered to me. I looked at him carefully. He seemed different now, more quiet, more honest, less proud, not perfect, but real. I thought about Ben. I thought about myself too. I was not the same woman anymore. Pain had changed me. I was stronger now, and I no longer needed Eric in the way I once did. That changed everything. If I ever chose him again, it would not be because I was weak. It would be because I wanted to. Sometime later, while Ben was drawing in the living room, Eric and I sat in silence. Then I said, "I do not forgive quickly, and I do not forget. But I can see that you are trying." He looked at me, but said nothing. I continued, "This is not a promise. It is only one small step." His eyes filled with tears, but he stayed calm. He only nodded. That was the beginning. We did not become a happy family again in one day. It took time. It took many quiet talks. It took careful steps. It took truth. Sometimes, I still remembered that night and felt pain. Sometimes I still asked questions in my mind. But little by little, something new started to grow where the old trust had broken. Not the same love, a wiser love, a slower love. A love that understood how easy it is to lose everything. One evening, Ben looked at us both and asked, "Are we okay again?" I smiled and touched his hair. I said, "We are learning," and that was the truth. Life does not always give perfect people or perfect love. Sometimes it gives hurt, mistakes, silence, and long waiting. But sometimes, when a person truly changes, and when the other heart is ready, a broken story can begin again in a different way. Not as before, but maybe stronger.